The Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack is getting really mixed reviews, but the numbers alone don't tell the full story. From player reviews to critic reviews, here's the tea being spilled on gameplay that comes with the new Sims 4 pack. Now, I will be showing 2 polls I conducted, as well as reviews from Steam and CD Keys, and a few critic reviews that I actually think are pretty nuanced. Now, across the board, Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies may look score-wise like this pack is pretty middle of the road, with about a 60 rating out of 100 across critics. But this pack I think actually exposes some interesting divides in the Sims community itself. So first of all, I did conduct 2 polls. One was on Twitter and also one was on my community tab. Honestly, these are always really interesting because the results vary quite a bit. I find that the results on Twitter tend to be more positive, so to speak, towards Sims 4, while my community tab tends to be a bit more critical or more reserved. For those who have played the Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack, what is your impression of the gameplay compared to other Sims 4 packs? The reason I said compared to other Sims 4 packs is because I do think this is important, because of course we could compare 2 other Sims games all day long. Now the results here were pretty interesting. Over 43% said it was one of the best Sims 4 packs, 33% said above average, just 17% said average, and a mere 6% said below average. Looking at these results, it sounds like it was pretty positive overall. But like I said, the percentages do change when we go over to my community tab. In comparison, on my community tab, just 13% said it was one of the best Sims 4 packs, while about 33% said above average, 34% said average, and 19% said below average. Now I will say, because I did not add an extra option of I did not buy the pack, I do strongly suspect some people did participate in this poll even though they didn't play with it, and therefore that might mess with some of these numbers. But overall, there doesn't seem to be a very conclusive narrative about the Sims 4 pack. People aren't saying that it's a terrible pack or the most wonderful pack. However, this is where the nuance comes in, because even though it seems like there are just mixed reviews about this pack, some people feel pretty strongly about it. This person notes, "What I love about it is that it really expands gameplay for pretty much all other packs. It's definitely an expansion." While this person argues average. Honestly, it feels like playing Get to Work, except you can run other types of businesses. Now, honestly, on its surface, I can see where they're coming from both of these perspectives. Number one, it does expand other gameplay. We've talked about this. It has tons of pack integration, and yes, there are endless types of businesses you can create. Granted, there are some limitations to that, but definitely this pack has pack integration, and that is sometimes a weakness of Sims 4. On the other hand, it definitely has pack integration, but as I argued, you definitely get the most out of it with other packs. So, while I think expansion packs definitely should have rich pack integration, I also argue they should bring substantial new and complex gameplay. And so the question is, does that accomplish that? This person certainly thinks so. One of the best things in my opinion is it opens a world of possibilities. The absolute best for me is life and death, and then cottage living, and then businesses and hobbies. However, this next person says they just don't like it because they don't really like business. I put below average because I suck at business games. If I can't do well in business in a game, I know I can go under in real life in a split second. So that's kind of interesting. They're tying it very strongly to real life consequences. But I think a broader point is some people just enjoy this type of gameplay and some people don't. Some people really go for example, rags to riches and just owning businesses, while other people are drawn to Sims for entirely different reasons. So if you have no interest in running a business, of course, why would you get this pack? Now, honestly, I really wish I had data to share. I wish I knew just how well this pack sold, because I'm seeing lots of people saying they haven't bought Sims 4 packs for years and they bought this one for some reason. This person says, "I haven't bought a Sims 4 pack in years. This one immediately grabbed my attention because of the possibilities. Integration with most Sims 4 packs, the Nordic-inspired world and cast, which I gotta say, I guess it is versatile, but I said before, it definitely doesn't really personally grab me. They said great features overall. Of course, there are bugs as most Sims 4 DLC and packs, which I did cover. I can link that video if you would like me to. They also mentioned missed opportunities with other packs such as no hobbies, mainly just businesses. We'll get back to that. And some hairstyles are a bit outlandish. Now, honestly, I don't think the hairstyles are outlandish. Quite the opposite. I think the hairstyles are kind of dull, but that's just my personal opinion. I also found the Steam reviews quite interesting. So far, I like what this pack has to offer, this person says. However, there are bugs. And of course, the enjoyment of a pack does depend on how well it performs. This person claims they have no bugs whatsoever. So far, no issue, no bugs. It's quite nice as I really like the gameplay where you can be in the city while being on your home lot. So far, only San Myshuno had similar features. However, I will say it is very small, and I'm also very sad that you cannot combine small business with residential rentals. Now, honestly, I think it's a good thing that small businesses and residential rentals do not work because, of course, for rent unfortunately still has substantial issues. That aside, it does also sound like they're kind of going back and forth on the world. And this person brings up a central debate. I don't know if it's worth the money. There's only 2 hobbies in a pack called Businesses and Hobbies. The map sucks and it has dual colors. Opening your own home business is neat and all, but they could have done more. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but my rating is in the middle. The pack is neat, but it feels like it relies on other packs. So in short, they are saying it's a useful pack, but they think that the world is dull, and they also say it's not bringing enough new content. And honestly, I think labeling it Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies is a bigger problem, because some people built it up to be a hobbies pack, and as I said many times before, it unfortunately just is not that. It really is a small business pack. And also, as I mentioned before, even the critics are not sure what to make of this pack. We have across the board pretty mid to average ratings, and I think their reasoning here is pretty interesting. As Digital Spy describes, the Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies is a disjointed expansion despite some fun ideas. Now, on the plus side, this expansion pack, the businesses are very customizable. You're not restricted to retail, and you can set up service businesses. You can begin by naming your business, selecting up to 5 different activities for customers to do, and deciding how to charge them. There is a lot of different things you can do with this pack if you are creative, and of course, if you own different packs. As they continue, make no mistake, running a small business is the best part of this expansion, but it could be better. For starters, the expansion offers a few other small features to expand on gameplay, but these feel restrictive or don't do enough to have an impact on your business. For example, take the skill tree. You can spend points as your business levels up, and it works very similar to skill trees in previous packs like werewolves. Here, the perks are split into different categories: dreamer, neutral, and schemer, but they really aren't that interesting to play with. There are a couple of interesting ones like being able to commit fraud or accidentally start fires, but most of these feel too detached from the business, like the option to mine crypto on the side, or don't really mix up gameplay enough, such as getting extra tips, buzz, or faster skill gains. As far as business alignment is supposed to impact how customers see your business, but from the time they've spent with the expansion, there isn't that much to it. So in short, they're saying there are some nice features in Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies, but in short, they're saying this pack does not have the consequences they were hoping for. And finally, Games Hub echoes some of these conclusions. It's worth noting there are some very rigid bounds for setting up your business. There's a step-by-step process to organize an empty lot to be your business. You'll need to spend time zoning and planning if you're keen to add your home business to your actual home. In addition to this, I would have liked to see more activity slots in the business setup. In short, this expansion pack really is a mismatch because beyond the expected small business features, there's also a bunch of weirdness waiting on the side. For one thing, the expansion introduces an NPC called Trashly, who is actually several raccoons in a trench coat. Now, they say it's strange, but they actually like it a lot. All of the inclusions add flavor and personality personality and elevate the expansion. However, these inclusions do make the expansion feel disjointed and thematically all over the place. And their final critique is really about hobbies again. As far as hobbies, the additions here are actually pretty lackluster. Sims can learn pottery and tattooing, which doubles as new avenues for business ventures. The pottery skill is well designed with a pottery wheel and options to glaze, and it is nice to have a new creative skill for Sims to learn. Candy making, on the other hand, is more of another appliance, using it to create new colorful treats your Sim can eat or sell, but it just builds on the cooking skill rather than adding a new candy making one. So what can we learn from this? Number one, of course, gameplay style makes a big difference if you really care about this expansion pack or not. Number two, I think that selling it as a hobbies pack was a mistake. I understand they were trying to appeal to people who wanted hobbies, but really, this is a business pack at its core. Is it an expansion pack? Yes, it does expand your game in terms of cross-pack compatibility. I also think it has lots of replay value. On the other hand, does it stand on its own, and does it add enough new gameplay? This is a really weird one for me, and personally, it feels like a game pack to me. However, if you're really into running businesses, you are going to get replay value out of this, and that is definitely something to consider. All in all, I feel really mixed about this expansion pack, and it seems like the Sims community does too. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this one of the best packs, the worst packs, or just somewhere in between? As always, please take care, and I will see you in the next video.